What up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I'm looking at the Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game B1 Expansion Pack. Now, the B1 was first seen in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and I guess you could say it made a prototype appearance in Star Wars Rebels. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know I love The Empire Strikes Back. That's my adult favorite Star Wars film. But as a kid, Return of the Jedi was it. I waited the whole movie to see the Battle of Endor, and it never disappointed. And one of the coolest aspects of that battle is the introduction of the B1 Starfighter. Now, it is true we didn't get to see that much of this vessel because of technical issues with, putting the model with the blue screen and then you get that black line around the model, and they said it looked like crap, so they didn't use it. But I do have to say this, with the special edition, you're telling me you couldn't add more scenes with the B1? Come on now, right? So anyway, a huge fan of the B1. It's one of my favorite vessels ever in Star Wars, and one of the main reasons I picked up Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 to play as one of these bad boys. But you know me, I could just talk about these ships and my youth for hours and hours, so let's move on. Back to this model. For its length, it's 1 inch long and 2.5 inches tall, which is amazing. And the reason why I'm so blown away by that is these models are all to scale with the other Rebel ships and Imperials. And once we do our size comparison, it's going to look really neat, trust me. So we do have a lot to cover. We're going to look at the tokens and dials, cards, check out the stand, look at the mold and paint of that beautiful model, compare it, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Alright, you know what time it is. It's the dial token roll call. 1 maneuver dial. And to go with that maneuver dial, here are all the maneuvers the B1 can do. 2 ship tokens, which are double-sided. 1 focus token. 1 stress token. 1 critical hit token. 1 ion token. 5 shield tokens. 2 target lock tokens, which are double-sided. And finally, 3 ship ID tokens, consisting of number 30, and yes, they are double-sided. So that does it for all the dials and tokens for the B1. So now let's take a look at those cards. Alright, starting off looking at the upgrade cards, like always, I'll go over the title, and then if you would like to pause the video and read the paragraph below and all the information, by all means, go right ahead, and then continue when you're done. First up, we have Proton Torpedoes, Advanced Proton Torpedoes, Fire Control System, Ion Cannon, and finally, Auto Blaster. So that does it for all the upgrade cards. Now, let's take a look at the ship cards. Alrighty, looking at the ship cards, first we have 10 Nub, who is 9 Nub's brother, I believe. Some great artwork there. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this! Ibtism. Ibtizam. You got me on this one. Ibtism. Dagger Squadron Pilot. Blue Squadron Pilot. And finally, we have the Ion Token Reference Card, which has some little basic rules on the Ion Tokens and how to use them. So that does it for all the cards for the B1. So now let's take a look at the stand and then that beautiful model. Looking at the stand of the B1, like always, you get the 2 pegs you put together to make a rod. Plug it in the base like so. Get your B1. Connect it. And remember, be a little easy on here because these are fragile. But once it's on a stand, you are good to go. And finally, here we have the B1 model, which is an amazing little ship here, packed full of details, and now my finger's stuck in the model, oh no. Okay, looking back at the model, like always, I'll go over the main points of the ship, and then we'll get nice and close to see all those details. First, we have our transparent steel window / cockpit. Very nice, I think that came out great. Right here should be little laser cannons, or blasters, if you will. Underneath, these long, I guess we could say torpedo-shaped modules are where the proton torpedoes come out of. So that's pretty awesome. Our engine intake, engine on the back. S-foil mechanisms are also in this section. We have our nice wings, beautiful details, laser cannons on the tips. Coming down, we have another laser cannon and an ion cannon. Now, some reference materials say there are 3 ion cannons, some do not. But I'm sticking with the original plan here of 3 laser cannons, 1 ion cannon. All in all, a great looking ship, so now let's get a closer look and see what this baby has to offer. Alright, having a closer look at the B1, as close as I can actually. We could see the canopy here for the cockpit. Very nicely detailed. Paint's a little off right here, but not too bad. Underneath, we can see where the blasters are. and a whole bunch of other little doodads. Very nice, and you could just see, based on the size of my finger, how detailed this actually is. Now coming to the back of the cockpit, this piece wrapping around is the gyro stabilization system. Because if you're a fan of the B-Wing, you know that technically this cockpit could stay in one spot and the body can wrap around it. This model, however, doesn't move, but it's nice they added it in. Some great details coming down here. Nice recess in the back. Awesome. Now right here for the neck, nice lines here, little modules or torpedo launchers. Right here we have the engine intake. Engines in the back. This little rectangle right here is a shield generator. And this is one of the only models I know of where the stand kind of messes with the mold. I have seen some people rip this out and modify it so it can be done. Engines are nice, very recessed. Just love all the details on here. Fantastic stuff. And at first, when you look at this, you think it's flat, but look again. On the intake, there's like a grill there. Amazing stuff. Came out great. Underneath, we have little lines here that are recessed. Beautiful stuff, and I love this section. Pretty cool. We have our S-foils here. And let's take a look at those wings. Look at all that line work. Little hoses. That is great. Coming down to our laser cannon. Beautiful. Let's look at the bottom. Amazing stuff. Look at all that. Look at all the little modules. Beautiful. I don't know if you heard, but my dog was barking. But on the underside of this one, it's the same beautiful stuff. I love the line work here. The raised line work, I should say. Beautiful. And that laser cannon detail. Amazing. Moving on down now to the main body. Just look at all that recessed line work and raised sections. Believe it or not, nothing is flat on here, and that is amazing. It really is. I love all the work they did on this bad boy. And it's the same on this side. Just beautiful. Now this section right here, that should be basic sensors and stuff like that. So it's cool they added that in. And then this module right down here is a weapons pod. And in here we have our laser cannon and ion cannon. So that is nice. Let's wrap around here. Underneath, little hoses, little modules. Fantastic stuff. Beautiful ship, it really is. And that does it for the mold. A beautiful looking ship, I will admit, because of the awkward shape of it, it is hard to film as you saw. It was flipping and flopping. But it's not too bad, and I love it nonetheless. So now let's take a look at the paint. When it comes to the paint of the B-1 Starfighter, we're looking at, believe it or not, 7 different colors. First one up is a nice light tan. As you can see, it's all over the main body of the ship. And I think it's a nice choice. It sort of blends in with the X-Wing Starfighter, and I'm happy about that. Second color up is what I like to call a dark bluish gray. And that's where the main cannon weapons pod down here. Sensors, the engines, the stripe on the wings right here. The laser cannons and underneath of them. Where the blasters are. And different sections back here. All in all, nice color choice. And what I think they did here is they took the main color scheme of the B-Wing, which was like a light gray and then a darker blue, and they just made it super dark here, and I'm digging that. I like it, how it looks dirty now and stuff like that. Nice choices, in my opinion. Now, besides that tan and dark bluish gray, we do have some orange, and it's in a circle down here, on a wing, and on this wing. Now, besides that, we also have yellow, which could be a mistake on mine, but I'm digging it nonetheless. I think it adds a little oomph to it. And then, since we're at the cockpit module, on the canopy we have a dark gray and glossy black for the windshield on here. And I think that came out pretty nice and clean. Having said that though, right here it's very, very hard to see, even when we were zoomed in. But the glossy black doesn't cover all the way down to where the dark gray is. But, you know, from a distance, you're not even going to notice that, so it's a minor, minor little gripe. And we're almost done, I promise. on the laser cannons. For the longest time, I thought it was tan, just like the main body. And after looking at it for a while, it's actually a light gray, and that looks nice. You know, it's a little dab of color, but it works. Now, finally, you guessed it, the black wash. It gets in every single nook and cranny on this bad boy and just brings it to life. It makes it look dirty, and it makes all the details pop, and that's what it's all about. It really makes it look like you're getting your money's worth, and that is beautiful. So that does it for the mold and the paint. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. My God, I hope I did. So now, let's put this beautiful ship back on a stand, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. Alright, for a fun size comparison, I got a whole bunch of X-Wing miniature ships to compare with the B-Wing. Starting with the right, we have our TIE Interceptor, X-Wing Starfighter, our B-Wing, a Y-Wing Starfighter, and finally on the left, an A-Wing Starfighter. These are some beautiful looking ships, and they're all to scale, which is amazing. And if I did review any of these ships, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check them out as well. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game B-Wing Expansion Pack. Again, the B-Wing was first seen in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and for its length, it's about 1 inch long and 2.5 inches tall, which is awesome. Now, it's no lie, I love the B-Wing, and I'm so glad Fantasy Flight Games made it for the X-Wing game. Now, I don't go over the rules and how the ships actually play in my reviews, but many people have told me that the B-Wing's mechanic in the game is not as good as it should be. And yes, Fantasy Flight Games made an additional expansion with new B-Wing cards, and I will look at that in the future. But it's just a shame, really, when you have a ship that's supposed to be the Rebellion's best fighter at the time, and it's sort of slacking here and there. But regardless, as a collector, this is a great piece. So is the B-Wing worth it? Well, having said what I just did, many people would say no. However, it does come with all the cards you need to play it, extra dials and tokens to add to your collection, and it does feature a beautiful ship. I mean, this is one of the best models I've seen so far. Very iconic, great looking wings, everything's there that should be, and that's what counts. And what aids that model is the fact that it's painted so good. I would love to see a more true color scheme that we saw in the movies and a lot of people made as toys, but this is pretty good. I am enjoying it quite a bit. So if you're looking to buy this ship, I would strongly suggest Barnes & Noble, Amazon, eBay, FantasyFlightGames.com, or MiniatureMarket.com. They usually sell for about $14.99 and are a pretty cool ship. So in closing, I recommend this ship for anybody who's a fan of the Rebellion faction of X-Wing or B-Wings in general. It's a great looking ship to scale with the rest, and it will stand out in your collection. So that's everything I have to say about the B-Wing today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.